Jack from Breaking the Clutch. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and very quickly, I am running the Arbiter in this gameplay. Shout out to Space, Mailman, and Adam Jack for making these suggestions. Real quick to Adam Jack, I'm not going to be using the Phantom in this gameplay. Still trying to get my feet wet with the Arbiter. As you'll see at the end of the gameplay, I get my first, I think an achievement for my first 3 wins with the Arbiter, so you can tell I have not really played as Arbiter. That was more of Pat's thing when Arbiter came out. He absolutely loves the Arbiter. For myself, I didn't really go that route, so I'm trying to get used to him right now. Still trying to get used to the Enforcer Rush, what to add with it, what not to add with it. So there's going to be quite a few things I'm going to critique from myself in this gameplay, and then also I'll give you guys a quick breakdown on how you would stop a strategy that I would be running. It should be fairly obvious once things start to get rolling, especially since my opponent is of the Banished. So Suicide Grunts in the beginning. As soon as you get that scout and you see an enemy's going some enforcers, going grunts, whatever the case is, if they're going infantry, hit them with suicide grunts, and then hit them with turrets to clean it up very quickly. And if you want to get that counter rush in on the enforcer grunt play that I'll have running here, get the suicide grunts to hit the early ones, and then maybe get ghosts or get choppers or something quick to bolt across the map, and then get the counter rush going. Alright, so with that out of the way, there are, like I said, quite a few things that I had done improperly in this gameplay. One of those things is I'm going to pick up a mini base on the opponent's side of the map, and my thought process here was, okay, I'll put the air pad on the far left, and then I'll just I'll use that for engineers, and I'll build a summit. You'll see I'm sending a ghost over there right now, and I'll build a summit. We'll pump engineers from over there, no big deal. It'll be a quicker travel time for them. Boom, no problem. Now I'll come back to that in a little bit on why that turned out to the way I executed that was not proper, but the idea I think I had was fine, because engineers are very slow to move across the map, and if I can sneak one of these over here and the opponent's not going to be able to take that out quick enough, then it'll benefit me in the long run, but I don't execute it properly. So again, we're going for those early power nodes. We're trying to pick up 2. I think we're going to try to pick up 3, 1 in the center, 1 on my side, and then 1 on the right. Obviously the ones on, or is that the left side? Yeah, left side. So obviously the opponent is going to pick up his. I don't really want to push that right away. Like I said, on several different maps as well, the power node, how you push power nodes kind of signifies how games are being played. If that center is contested a lot, then you're in for a little bit of a longer mid to late game play, and you should start preparing yourself for that. If you're able to just easily roll over the center, then the opponent's not playing very tactical, or I should say the opponent's not playing very aggressive, not taking control of certain parts of the map, which means that you have a better chance of rolling over them. Now you'll see that he's got the 3 hero grunt goblins, and this is the first time I'm actually playing against Yap Yap since I think the 2 updates that just recently came out. So I'm not quite familiar with how these 2 leaders, or these 3 hero units I should say, run. So I don't know necessarily their weakness. I don't even know if they're considered vehicle or infantry. I'd assume infantry, but regardless, I'm still trying to get a little bit of engineers over here, and you'll see this is what I'm talking about right here. The engineers will start coming from the top left, and I'll try to bring them towards my right, because obviously if I can get that 40% reduction by utilizing the engineer's shield, I'll have a fantastic opportunity to take out a lot more of these units, and especially if I utilize my enforcers properly, then I'll be able to, if I could tag 2 of the grunt heroes and then hit the 3rd with everything I've got while the other 2 are stasis for a moment or 2. If I keep doing stuff like that, I should be able to win this. But the problem is these engineers are going to be coming from top left towards the center, which means that every single unit that sees it from his side of the map is going to start taking pop shots at it. They're going to get to me half shields or so. They're going to have some damage with them. And of course, that's fine because I'm pumping engineers, so I'll be able to heal them, but I have to get them together, and if they're just getting weak, there's too much of a chance for, especially with these grunt goblins where they have needlers, make some anti-air, they can simply just rinse that very quickly. So I need to position my engineers in a better way next time, or maybe just lock my base, or single push them all the way to my side and then click them over to the right, so that way they stay out of the enemy's path. There's a few things that can be done. One thing I want to point out is don't have them drag across the map, and I'll point that out one more time a little bit later here in the way I position myself when I attack his base. Now we've got a big, this is the tilt right here in the center of the map. If I overcommit and lose, because I don't think I necessarily have the right army composition, or at least the way I'm using it to defeat this. I've got to be very careful and very methodical with how I try this. You'll see, as I said earlier, I'm not too familiar with Arbiter and how long stasis lasts, things like that with the enforcers, so I'm kind of trying to figure this out on the fly, and I can tell that I'm not utilizing the enforcers well enough at this point. I need to click, I pretty much need to have one hit two of them, or I'm sorry, I need to have two of them hit one each, and then have that third attack it, and then have the other two ready. Move those two that have utilized their Y ability, push them to the back, and then have the other two push up forward, and then get ready to stun those guys again, so I can constantly hit that stun. One thing I want to emphasize is don't hit all units and then hit Y. You'll shoot off all 6 of your, well, in this case I think I had 6. You'll shoot off all those the stuns, and then you won't have that. So make sure you're single clicking for that, and you'll see I get off a nice plasma bolt there. One thing I also need to utilize in this gameplay is the teleport ability that the Arbiter has. It's very, it's one of the reasons why I like Shipmaster so much, is because you can teleport around, and I needed to utilize that a little bit better. Now you'll see I'm making a shroud right here. I think this is kind of a nice play. Let me know what you guys think down below, but I think this is a nice play because I see that my opponent doesn't have anything that could spot my units. So if I can pull a shroud, it does cost 550. It prevents me from picking up a base at this moment because my eco is so invested in this rush. But it will play a major role if I can get that shroud off, and I can get my units invisible. They won't be able to spot them, and then I can also get those engineers to also protect that shroud by utilizing the shield right there, and it will take 40% less damage. So there are a lot of little things that I can do right here that'll benefit me in the long run. And I think another point that I wanted to make with those engineers as well is I need to control the left side of this guy's base. That's where I need to attack. You can see I position myself properly in this case, but again I'll shift over to the center, and then he'll have units that push off to the left side of the base immediately, and then they start taking pop shots at the engineers as they cut across. Stuff like that. It's little errors like that will cost you a game against better opponents, and that's something that I need to recognize right here. I did a nice job scouting this game. As you saw, I think I scouted 2 or 3 times with my ghost. I immediately popped off the ghost and scouted within the first I think minute and 15 seconds. I saw that he was going the War Council, and I knew right then and there that as soon as that happened, I needed to get some. I could either take the Suicide Grunt route for the early game, or I can wait until the late game, or mid game I should say, and get out those Rangers and Locusts, because you guys know I absolutely love it. But love those units as a combo. And you'll see right here, this is what I'm talking about. The engineers are going to cut across to the left, and they're just going to start taking shots, unnecessary shots, and I need to control the left side of the base. It's just bad macroing at that point, so I need to make sure that I'm aware of that, and I want you guys to, and the reason I'm pointing this out is because I want you guys to realize it's just simple positioning. There's nothing to it other than pick a side. If you decide to do a mini base on the opponent's side of the map, like I did, just make sure you are giving yourself the best position to win. And I think I do a nice job in this gameplay, but there are definitely a lot of things that need to be improved upon, especially with the enforcer play. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. I see a lot of comments for Cansano, and I see a lot of comments for the Kodiaks. Cansano I'm having a little bit of issue with. I'm trying to figure out the best strategy to utilize with her in Team War. I still don't think Flame Hogs are that powerful. The Flamethrower Rush can get easily overwhelmed if I'm running with random, so I might just do that in solo. And of course the Kodiak play it's something that I'll need to, I need to find the right map to do it against the right opponents. So both of those are on my list, but let me know if you want to see anything else, and I will try to feature your comments down below in the video. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.